Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, and it is a good evening because I've been offered a job today, and this video is being recorded very, very late because of trying to tell my family, my friends, and praising the Lord about it because it's been a constant prayer for months. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Lord. And I've got 4 chapters to read tonight of Numbers. And this is probably going to take a long time because these chapters are long. So let's get started. I might have to do part 1 and part 2 again. Anyway, the law of grain and drink offerings. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you have come into the land where you are to inhabit, which I am giving to you, and you make an offering by fire to the Lord, a burnt offering or a sacrifice, to fulfill a vow or as a free will offering in your appointed feasts, to make a sweet aroma to the Lord from the herd or the flock, then he who presents his offering to the Lord shall bring a grain offering of 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour." I've already said about this last month or so in Leviticus. Oh. Okay. And it says, oh, it's a drink wine now. Actually, I've read about drink offerings before. So this is the same as one of the chapters before. Why is it being repeated again? The only difference between that and before is that they were in the wilderness of Sinai before, and now they're going into the land that was promised. Laws concerning unintentional sin. If you sin unintentionally and do not observe all these commandments which the Lord has spoken to Moses, all that the Lord has commanded you by the hand of Moses, from the day that the Lord gave you commandment on the word throughout the generations, then it will be, if it is unintentionally committed without knowledge of the congregation, that the whole congregation shall offer 1 young bull as a burnt offering, a sweet aroma to the Lord, with its grain offering and its drink offering, according to the ordinance, and 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering. So the priest shall make atonement for the whole congregation of the children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them, for it was unintentional. It shall be forgiven the whole congregation of the children of Israel, and the stranger who dwells among them, because all the people did it unintentionally. If a person sins unintentionally, this is like, that's the same offering as before. I don't know why they're repeating things. Oh, this one looks different. Hope it is. Law concerning presumptuous sin. But the person who does anything presumptuously, whether he is native born or stranger, that one brings reproach on the Lord, and he shall be cut off from among those people, because he has despised the word of the Lord, and has broken his commandment. That person shall be completely cut off, and his guilt shall be upon him. That is the same as before. Penalty for violating the Sabbath. Now, while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. And those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses and Aaron and all the congregation, and they put him under a guard, because it had not been explained what should be done to him. Then the Lord said to Moses, the man must surely be put to... What? He's gathering sticks. Like, that's not work. Oh, come on. That's not work. Gathering sticks is not work. Tassels on garments. Again the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the children of Israel. Tell them to make tassels on the corners of their garments throughout the generations. Put a blue thread on the tassels of the corners, and you shall have the tassel that you may look upon it and remember all my commandments of the Lord, and do them, that you may not follow the harlotry to which your own heart and your eyes are inclined, and that you may remember to do all my commandments, and be holy for your God. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God. Is there a significance to that? I don't know. Rebellion against Aaron and Moses. Oh no. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, with Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Pelath, the sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses and with some of the children of Israel, 250 leaders of the congregation, representatives of the congregation, men of renown. They gathered together against Moses and Aaron and said to them, you take too much upon yourselves, for all the congregation is holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Why do you exalt yourselves above the assembly of the Lord? So when Moses heard it, he fell on his face and spoke to Korah and all his company, saying, tomorrow morning the Lord will show who he is and who is holy, and will cause him to enter to near him, and to come near him. That one whom he chooses he will cause to come near him. Do this, take censers, Korah and all your company, put fire in them and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord chooses to be the Holy One, you take too much upon yourselves, you sons of Levi. Then Moses said to Korah, hear now, you sons of Levi, is it a small thing that is it a small thing to you that the son that the I'm getting tongue tied. Is it a small thing to you that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the work of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to serve them, and that he has brought you near to himself, you and all your brethren, the sons of Levi, with you? And are you seeking the priesthood also? Therefore you and all your company are gathered together against the Lord. And what is Aaron that you complain against him? And Moses sent a call to Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, but they said, we will not come up. Is it a small thing that you have brought us up out of the land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness, that you should keep acting like a prince over us? Moreover, you have not brought us into land flowing with milk and honey, nor given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Will you put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. Then Moses was very angry, and he said to the Lord, do not respect their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, nor have I hurt one of them. And Moses said to Korah, tomorrow you and all your company will present before the Lord, you and they, as well as Aaron. Let each of his censer and let each take his censer and put incense in it, and each one of you bring a censer before the Lord, 250 censers. both you and Aaron, each with his censer. So every man took his censer, put fire in it, and laid incense on it, and stood at the door of the tabernacle of meeting with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Then the glory of the Lord appeared to all the congregation. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. Then they fell on their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and you'd be angry with all the congregation? So the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the congregation, saying, Get away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Then Moses rose and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spoke to the congregation, saying, Depart now from the tents of the wicked men. Touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed with all their sins. So they got away from around the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the door of their tents, with their wives, their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, By this you shall know that the Lord has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done of my own will. If these men die naturally like all men, if they are visited by the common fate of all men, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord creates a new thing, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them up, with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into the pit, then you will understand that these men have rejected the Lord. Now it came to pass, as he finished speaking all these words, that the ground split apart under them, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households, and all the men with Korah with their goods. So they and all those who went with them went down alive into the pit. The earth closed up over them, and they perished from among the assembly. Oh no! Then all Israel who were around them fled at their cry, for they said, Lest the earth swallows us up also. And the fire came out from the Lord and consumed 250 men who were offering incense. Oh no! Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Tell Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest to pick up the censers out of the blaze, for they are holy, and scatter the fire some distance away. The censers of these men who sinned against their own souls. Let them be made into hammered plates as a covering for the altar, because they presented them before the Lord. Therefore they are holy, and they shall be a sign to the children of Israel. So Eleazar the priest took the bronze censers, which those who were burnt up had presented, and they were hammered out as a covering on the altar, to be a memorial to the children of Israel, that no outsider who is not a descendant of Aaron should come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he might not become like Korah and his companions, just as the Lord had said to him through Moses. So many complaints, so many rebellions. Why do they not listen? Another one. Complaints of the people. On the next day, all the congregation of children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron, saying, You have killed the people of the Lord. Now it happened, when the congregation had gathered against Moses and Aaron, that they turned toward the tabernacle of meeting, and suddenly the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. Then Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of meeting, and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Get away from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell on their faces. So Moses said to Aaron, Take a censer and put fire in it from the altar, and put incense on it, and take it quickly to the congregation to make atonement for them. For wrath has gone out from the Lord. The plague has begun. Then Aaron took it as Moses commanded, and ran into the midst of the assembly, and already the plague had begun among the people. So he put in the incense and made atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, So the plague was stopped. Oh, my word. Now those who died in the plague were 14,700, besides those who died in the Korah incident. So Aaron returned to Moses at the door of the tabernacle of meeting, for the plague had stopped. Oh my gosh. When will these people learn? The budding of Aaron's rod. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and get them a rod from each father's house, all their leaders according to their father's houses, 12 rods. Write each man's name on his rod. And you shall write Aaron's name on the rod of Levi, for there shall be one rod of the head of each father's house. Then you shall place them in the tabernacle of meeting before the testimony where I meet with you. And it shall be that the rod of the man whom I choose with blossom, thus I will rid myself of the complaints of the children of Israel, which they make against you. So Moses spoke to the children of Israel, and each of their leaders gave him a rod apiece, each leader according to their father's houses, 12 rods, and the rod of Aaron was among them. And Moses placed the rods before the Lord of the tabernacle as a witness. Now it came to pass on the next day that Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron, the house of Levi, had sprouted and brought forth buds, and produced blossoms and yielded ripe almonds. Oh wow, interesting. Then Moses brought out all the rods from before the Lord of the to all the brethren. Then Moses brought out all the rods from before the Lord to the children of Israel, and they looked, and each man took his rod. And the Lord said to Moses, Bring Aaron's rod back before the testimony, to be kept as a sign against rebels, that you may put their complaints away from me, lest they die. Thus did Moses, just as the Lord commanded him, so he did. So the children of Israel spoke to Moses, saying, Surely we die, we perish, we all perish. Whoever even comes near the tabernacle of the Lord must die. Shall we all utterly die? They were quite dramatic, I guess. Duties of the priests and Levites. Then the Lord said to Aaron, You and your sons and your father's house with you shall bear the iniquity related to the sanctuary. And you and your sons with you shall bear the iniquity associated with your priesthood. Also bring with you your brethren of the tribe of Levi to the tribe of your father, that they may be joined with you and serve you while you and your sons are with you before the tabernacle of witness. They shall attend to your needs and all the needs of the tabernacle, but they shall not come near the articles of the sanctuary and the altar, lest they die, they and you also. They shall be joined with you and attend to the needs of the tabernacle of meeting, for all the work of the tabernacle, but an outsider shall not come near you. And you shall attend to the duties of the sanctuary and the duties of the altar, that there may be no more wrath on the children of Israel. Behold, I myself have taken your brethren the Levites from among the children of Israel. They are a gift to you, given by the Lord to do the work of the tabernacle of meeting. Therefore you and your sons with you shall attend to your priesthood for everything and the altar and behind the veil, and you shall serve. I give your priesthood to you as a gift of service, but the outsider who comes near shall be put to death. Offerings for the support of priests. Okay. And the Lord spoke to Aaron, saying, Here, I myself have also given you charge of my heave offerings. All the holy gifts of the children of Israel I have given them as a portion to you and your sons as an ordinance forever. This shall be yours of the most holy things reserved from the fire. Every offering of theirs, every grain offering, every sin offering, every trespass offering which they render to me, shall be most holy to you and your sons. And in a holy place you shall eat it. Every male shall eat it. It shall be holy to you. I need a drink. This is a long bit of reading. Why is it so long? This also is yours, the heave offering of their gift with all the wave offerings of the children of Israel. I have given them to you and your sons and daughters with you as an ordinance forever. Everyone who is clean in your house may eat it. All the best of the oil, all the best of the wine, and all the best of the grain, and their first fruits which they offer to the Lord. I have given them to you. Whatever first ripe fruit is in their land, whichever they bring to the Lord, shall be yours. Everyone who is clean in your house may eat it. Every devoted thing in Israel shall be yours. Everything that first opens the womb of all flesh, which they bring to the Lord, whether man or beast, shall be yours. Nevertheless, the firstborn of man you shall surely redeem, and the firstborn of unclean animals you shall redeem. Why redeem unclean animals? And those redeemed of the devoted things you shall redeem when 1 month old, according to your valuation, for 5 shekels of silver, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, which is 20 gerahs. I probably should look up what these things are. But the firstborn of a cow, the firstborn of a sheep, the firstborn of a goat, you shall not redeem. They are holy. You shall sprinkle their blood on the altar, and burn their fat as an offering made by fire for a sweet aroma to the Lord. And their flesh shall be yours, just as the wave breast and the right thigh are yours. And the heave offerings of the holy things which the children of Israel offer to the Lord, I have given to you and your sons and daughters with you as an ordinance forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before the Lord with you and your descendants with you. That's interesting, saying about salt. Then the Lord said to Aaron, you shall have no inheritance in their land, nor shall you have any portion among them. I am your portion and your inheritance among the children of Israel. Tithes for the support of Levites. Behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tithes of Israel as an inheritance in return for the work which they perform, the work of the tabernacle of meeting. Therefore the children of Israel shall not come near the tabernacle of meeting, lest they bear sin and die. But the Levites shall perform the work of the tabernacle of meeting, and they shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance. For the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as a heave offering to the Lord, I have given to the Levites as an inheritance. Therefore I have said to them, among the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance. The tithe of the Levites. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak thus to the Levites, and say to them, when you take from the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from them as your inheritance, you shall offer up a heave offering of it to the Lord, 1/10 of a tithe. And your heave offering shall be reckoned to you as though it were the grain of a threshing floor, as the fullness of the winepress. Thus you shall also offer a heave offering to the Lord from your tithes, which you receive from the children of Israel, and you shall give the Lord's heave offering from it to Aaron the priest. Of all your gifts you shall offer up every heave offering due to the Lord, from all the best of them, the consecrated part of them. Therefore you shall say to them, when you have lifted up the best of it, then the rest shall be accounted to the Levites, as the produce of the threshing floor and the produce of the winepress. You may eat it in any place of your households, for it is your reward and for your work in the tabernacle of meeting, and you shall bear no sin because of it when you have lifted the best of it. But you shall not profane the holy gifts of the children of Israel, lest you die. Oh. that was a long reading. Started off going quickly because of some of it being repeated, and then it just got so tedious, and I don't know why the Israelites complain and rebel so much. They've literally only just got out of Egypt, and they've seen what God can do, and they felt what God can do, and they witness on a daily basis the cloud, the pillar of cloud, the pillar of fire, the shining face of Moses. What more do they need? Seriously, what is... Alright, on to the next reading.